Gonna be installing these OEM carbon fiber fenders. Picked them up from a buddy. One main thing is that a lot of the holes for the vents and then the bolts on the bottom are gonna have to be sanded or cut out bigger to make sure they fit. But in terms of install, I'll be showing you how to do that, and it'll be pretty easy. Obviously, you're gonna need to jack the car in the air. Gonna take the wheel off, take the front and rear inner fender liner off, and then the fender's just held in by one bolt, two bolt, and then I think there's another one underneath that. And then there's a bolt in the top and bottom inside when you open the door. And then there's one more bolt that holds the fender in to the side skirt down here. The wheel off. All you're really gonna have is, I had to take all this plastic under tray off because the front lip that I'm running, but it's just gonna be a bunch of 8mm bolts. Boom, boom, boom here, and then one up here, and then two up top in the center up there. And then there's gonna be one in the back right here. And then the rear side is just a bunch of 10mm nuts and then 8mm bolts. So there's gonna be like a little plastic piece and there's a piece in the center. You just push the center piece on these three little push tabs and you just push them straight back, and then the little plastic clips will come off right there.
I'm having trouble trying to sleep. I'm counting sheep but running out. As time ticks by, still I try.
To get the back fender liner off, there's going to be a bolt right there at the bottom. Let me see if I can give you a better angle. There's going to be a bolt right here holding the fender in, and then there's that bolt that goes straight back right there. There's a connector somewhere back here that I'll disconnect and then let you know how that goes. You're gonna have one bolt right here, and then you have to take off these push pins, and then there's gonna be one more bolt under here, and there's a bolt that's gonna be at the top up in here, if I remember correctly. And you're going to see one bolt at the top right here, which is going to be another 10mm. And then for this plastic piece up top, once you get the push pins up the little center pieces, what I found to be the easiest way is just pop it and then pull the center piece out, and then you kind of just like pry up, and then you'll hear the pins unsnap, and then it just pulls straight up. And then you're going to have one bolt right there, and then that one bolt up top right here that I was talking about. And once you get all those out, there's only one more thing left. There's two 8mm bolts right here holding the fender to the bumper, and then one more 10mm bolt holding the fender to this little bracket. And then after that it's loose, and then you can pull the fender out. So with the bottom part of the fender, instead of pushing in these little tabs, all you're gonna want to do, you're gonna see a little slit there where the side skirt goes into, and let me put the fender down and then I'll show you. So all you're gonna want to do, the fender, like it fits inside of here, so you're just gonna push the fender and pull back here, and then they'll just snap out. And then when you get the old fender out, then you could take this plastic piece off, and then you're gonna transfer that to the new one. And then you're gonna transfer all these little clips. Literally, if it was here, it goes here in the new fender. You're probably gonna have to expand the holes on the new ones, and then you're gonna take this vent piece off, put that on the new one, and then same with this little plastic piece up top. You're gonna take this off, transfer all these hardware pieces to the new fender. And then for this little vent trim piece on the fender, all you're gonna want to do is start from the side over here, and you're just gonna push that tab in and push it out, and then you'll feel it kind of wiggle out, and then push that out, push this one out. And they're all just little push clips. They're very easy to push in. And then right here as well, there's one there. You're just gonna want to push these in, wiggle it out, and then once you get everything out of the clips, you're kind of just push down and pull this way, like it's like this. So you push it down, kind of angle it like that, and then just, you know, push, pull. So I got the fender on. So the only real issues I had while putting it on was this top bolt right here. The bracket right here it kind of stuck out further. So I took a center punch. I hit a mallet and bent the bracket down so that this gap wouldn't be that big. I still have to kind of tweak that out, and then the gap on the door is a little bit off, but not a lot, just a little bit bigger than the other side. And then down here everything went in perfectly fine, and then up here this little plastic piece was giving me issues. It kept popping off and it wasn't going on straight. So what I had was had someone push the fender down for me. I lined it up, put the little push pin up in here so it held it, and then I screwed one at a time and then got those on, and then that lines up perfectly fine. The hood to the fender, even though they're both carbon, line up pretty damn good. And for this vent trim piece, all I did was cut off the two little plastic tabs right there, and then I just took